Hi, sixth grade. It is the last week of virtual learning. This week is going to be a year in review. So, we're going to wrap up virtual learning with going over all the topics that we have discussed over the year. So, if you look in your stream, you're going to have a Kami document. You know, the Kami document is great because it will read to you. So, this is exactly what we would have been doing in class last couple weeks of school before you took your NC check-in or NC final, pardon me. But it's basically a condensed version of every topic we've covered for each slide. So if you're going to remember anything, it's going to be on this slide. Now, what you're going to use this for is basically you're just going to kind of do a refresher. You're going to go through each slide, read over it, and look at the diagrams, look at the pictures. And then what you're going to be doing is going back to your classwork. And remember, this is a short week because Monday, technically, we didn't have school. So I wouldn't expect you to do work on Monday for Memorial Day. But if we're looking at your actual assignment, you are going to be doing some practice set questions, and they're all Kahoots. So it should not be hard. It should not be something you don't know how to do. So each link is a different Kahoot. You're going to open it up. And these are accessible until the 1st. So you don't need a code. All you're doing here is putting in your nickname. Now, I made a point of saying, please put your first name and the first letter of your last name. That way I can keep track of who has done what, okay? So don't put any silly nicknames. I know how much y'all love them, but now is not the time, unfortunately. So you have 3 of these. So the first 2 are an actual set of questions from the NC final. So this is going to give me an idea of how much you remember, what you don't quite understand, are there gaps in any content that we've covered. So please take it seriously. Not saying that you won't, but I want you to try your best on these, okay? Because it's going to give me an understanding of what you remember and what you don't. Now, you most definitely can use the Kami document to help you, okay? So the first 2 things, you have the Kahoot, that's a practice set of questions directly from an NC final. You have another practice set of 20 questions from the second part of the NC final. And then lastly, you have some vocab that I want you to go over. So it's pretty simple. You're not actually having to make anything. You're just going over some questions with your Kahoot. Okay, so that is your last week of virtual learning. Pretty simple. I hope to see lots of participation, and I will see some of y'all when you drop off your Chromebook. So I'm excited about that. All right, guys, have a good week.